It's game 4 of 5 on the homestand and game 2 of 2 this weekend against the Watertown Wolves as the Prowlers look for the weekend sweep. Good evening, everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network alongside members of the Prowlers Spirit. It's CL Spirit Night here at McMorran Place as the Prowlers celebrate the local studio that the Prowlers Spirit come from. Prowlers also hoping to celebrate a sweep of the Watertown Wolves. They have some things to clean up if they want to do that, and we'll get into all that coming up in the pregame show next. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network. Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coats professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today. Welcome back to McMorran Place. We're just minutes away from puck drop between the Prowlers and the Watertown Wolves. We have it here for you on the PHP Network. It's CL Spirit Night for the Prowlers here tonight, celebrating the local dance studio. It will be a fun night, should be a packed house, lots of young dancers and cheerleaders in the house tonight. And hopefully for the Prowlers, they will have a lot to cheer about. They had some stuff to cheer about last night as the Prowlers defeated the Wolves 4-3. Thanks to a third period goal from Liam Freeborn, where we heard that one before, maybe last week, right about this time last week, as Freeborn for the second straight game scoring the game-winning goal in the third period. But really the story for the Prowlers was the line of Tristan Sim, Dalton J, and Vinny DeCumbis J, finishing with a couple of helpers. Sim a goal and an assist. He was the first star of the game, and he set up DeCumbis just 59 seconds into the contest for the first goal, and that really helped set the tone for the Prowlers. But what they need to work on is discipline, and assistant coach Chris Paulin talked about it last night after the game. The discipline has to be better for the Prowlers if they want to be successful. All three of Watertown's goals came on the power play, so as the Prowlers stay out of the box, I'm not saying they would have had a shutout, but if they stayed out of the box, this game may have been a little less tight than it ended up being. But Tucker Tynan able to make 31 saves, able to help keep the Prowlers on top for most of that game, despite a 3-point effort from Michael Mercurio and 2 points from Carter Thornton. But for the Wolves, this is concerning. The Elmira River Sharks won last night. They beat the Danbury Hat-Tricks handedly. And now Elmira just 4 points back of Watertown, and the River Sharks have a game in hand. So the Wolves are in a bit of a desperate situation here. Of course, it's still only February, and you hate to use the term must-win games this early in the season. But Watertown will definitely want to put some distance between them and the River Sharks. Speaking of putting distance, the Prowlers did that last night as they got some more distance between them and the Mississippi Seawolves, and that was the Prowlers' game in hand on Mississippi. Prowlers and the Seawolves have now both played the same number of games this season, and the Prowlers up 7 points on the Seawolves, and they're just a little bit closer to the Carolina Thunderbirds, also 7 points back of Carolina, but the Thunderbirds do have 3 games in hand on the Prowlers. Big story though last night, Columbus River Dragons extending their win streak to 12 straight games as they continue to control with ease the top of the Continental Division. Well, Shewett Blacksmith picked up a couple of helpers last night, and he's been big for Watertown, especially at a time when last night the Prowlers kept Tate Leeson off the score sheet and they kept Trevor Lord off the score sheet. Both Leeson and Lord have 15 more points than Blacksmith, who ranks third in that category on the Watertown Wolves. But Blacksmith is riding a 5-game assist streak, 7 helpers over those 5 games. And he's been a big part, really leading that secondary scoring effort for the Watertown Wolves. But if Watertown wants to get a win tonight, they'll need to get Leeson and Lord going. Lord had his 5-game point streak snapped. Leeson had a 10-game point streak snapped last night. We already mentioned Tristan Sim. He snapped a 5-game point drought last night, and he was on it right from the beginning of the game. He picked up a loose puck behind the net and found Vinny DeCumbis just a minute in, and then his goal was also very nice, picking up a puck in the corner and turning away from a defender in 4-on-4 action, so he was able to find his way to the front of the net with a little bit more room on the ice, one less player aside, and he made no mistake putting it around Bouchard to give the Prowlers at that point a 3-1 lead, which the Wolves eventually tied, but Prowlers, of course, eventually coming out on top. We'll see if Tristan Sim and his line can continue the magic here tonight, as the forwards all staying the same. The top line, which was quiet last night, of Austin Federley, Matt Graham, and Liam Freeborn, they were quiet on the score sheet, but they certainly did make some impacts off of it. They had their opportunities, but unable to convert a couple of times. And that second line, of course, staying the same as it was last night. DeCumbis, Sim, and Jay. And Evan Foley and Tucker Scantleberry still getting their skating legs back underneath them. They'll be back on that third line with Sam Merritt. Dan Chartrand, who got a lot of ice time himself as the extra forward, will be back out there as well. And then there's changing up the D pairings just a little bit. And this is what we saw as the game kind of went along a little bit more. They moved Dalton Young up to the top pairing alongside Alex Johnson. Probably separating Frank Schumacher and Brian Parsons for the first time in a while. Again, they did that a little bit last night as that game wore on. Parsons now paired with Braden Deck. Adam Heinzel will now be Frank Schumacher's defense partner. And Tucker Tynan, though, back between the pipes again for the second straight night, as he continues to emerge as the workhorse for this Prowlers squad. Head coach Matt Graham certainly trusts him in the big moments, and he's shown that throughout this season as the Wolves are taking the ice right now. You see all the blue coloring. That is for the Prowlers specialty jersey night. It is not for the Watertown Wolves, as much as Wolves fans would like to hope so, but blue is a big part of the color palette for the CL Spirit, who the Prowlers are celebrating here tonight. Let's take you down to ice level for the rest of the pregame ceremonies.
singing of our national anthem, sponsored by Duraclean and Mike Batchelor. We remind all members of the armed forces, veterans who are present but not in uniform, that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a special welcome to Miss Sarah Dent.
Sarah Dent back on the anthem tonight here from McMorran Place ahead of the matchup between the Prowlers and the Watertown Wolves. And in case you missed the Orthopedic Associates starting lineup for the Prowlers, it will be the same line that got the scoring started last night, who will be starting it off tonight. It's Tristan Sim, Vinny DeCumbis, and Dalton J. The defense pairing will be Adam Heinzel and Frank Schumacher, and Tucker Tynan will be between the pipes. We'll let you know in a moment who Watertown throws out there just as soon as we get finished with the ceremonial puck drop over by the Zamboni doors, as members of the CL Spirit team, led by Christine Partlow, will drop the puck here tonight on their special night, a nice yearly event that the Prowlers put together. Let's give you the starting goaltending matchup tonight. It will be Tynan again, 7-3-1, 239 goals against average, 931 save percentage. He made 31 saves in last night's victory. Spencer Kozlowski will make an appearance on the other side. His last appearance in goal was January 19th against the Elmira River Sharks. He was on IR, he's back, and this is the first time in 8 games that the Wolves have had someone not named Elway Bouchard starting the game. As Kozlowski, who got a victory in relief here a few weeks ago when the Wolves were here on that Sunday. He ended up getting credit for the win after he came in for Josh Rosenzweig, after Rosenzweig gave up the second goal of the game to the Prowlers. Kozlowski shut things down, only gave up 1 goal the rest of the way, and Watertown ended up picking up a 5-3 win to go home with some points. Seems to be a technical issue going on off the ice, and now we're ready to drop the puck, and we're underway as the Wolves start out with Gamzatov, Blacksmith, and Leeson up front, Lord and Hemming the defense pairing, as Schumacher and Gamzatov go after it. To his side scrum in the corner, and it pops out for Dalton J. He's able to push it out. Lord sends it right back in on the stick of Blacksmith. Schumacher comes in to take it. Heinzel up the boards. DeCumbis turns it to Sim, trying to work it towards Jay. Leeson got in the middle of that. And the Prowlers begin their first line change of the game, 45 seconds in. Schumacher gives it off to Brian Parsons. Up towards Foley. That hopped over his stick. And icing called against the Prowlers, 56 seconds into this one. In case you're just tuning in and wondering why the Prowlers are wearing blue, black and blue, I should say. It's their specialty jerseys for tonight. As Tynan jumps on top of that and covers up. These jerseys will be auctioned off after the game in support of the CL Spirit Studio. CL Spirit also collecting can tabs tonight for the Ronald McDonald House. There's Mercurio rimming it around. Tynan plays it on the backhand. Deck tried to glove it down. Now it's Foley. Off the backboards, Scantleberry. His quick up. Couldn't get it through the Wolf at center. Here's Pavlov trying to force it towards the slot. Foley gloves it down. He'll settle behind his own net. Scantleberry couldn't dangle around Thornton. Deck has a comeback to him. It's forced through to Mercurio, who had a 3-point night last night. To lead all skaters, Doyle floated it just past the net. That shot blocked on the way through, and Parsons plays it off the boards and out, got through Doyle. And after it is Lincoln Gingrich, wearing number 4 tonight, rather than his regular 44. I was told that these are relatively new uniforms for the Watertown Wolves. They certainly couldn't wear the blue jerseys that they wore last night, or else I would have had a fit trying to figure out the black from the blue and everything else. At least the Prowlers would have had the red helmets and the pants. That would have helped, but jersey colors would have been just way too close. Dakota Seaman had his pass stolen away by Dalton Young. Federley tips that one along. Kozlowski leaves it there for Doyle. Forced by Freeborn, and now pass in front. Swinging and missing was Matt Graham as Freeborn picked Patero's pocket. And Graham just couldn't get that one to go. Now a drop pass was right to the back-checking Liam Freeborn, but Tecumseh has it stolen at center. Leeson on his backhand sent it all the way through. Hemming put it back deep. Graham plays it over to the far side. Lord and Freeborn come together. Blacksmith had his stick lifted by Young. Freeborn able to work it to Decumbus. Goes off his skate and out. And dumped right back in by the Wolves. Prowlers trying to finish a change here. They'll be able to do so as Sim works in. Power move! And he's stopped by Kozlowski. Tristan Sim taking that one right to the cage. Heinzel hustling after that one. This one will be icing against the Watertown Wolves. 3.5 minutes into period number 1. One shot apiece, a good chance there for Tristan Sim as he lowered the shoulder and headed right to the blue paint. Foley wins this one clean. Schumacher had his wrist shot blocked. He'll head back after it. Foley in front, and Scantleberry swung and missed. Tipped along and just past Foley, who was coming out from behind the net. Schumacher, a one-timer. That hit Lord on the way through. And Foley keeps it deep. Chartrand picks it up on the left wing side. Pops out. Blacksmith first on it. His floater lands on Schumacher's tape. Foley waits behind Schumacher. Gets it back. Foley just sends it all the way to the near side, where Heinzel pinches in to keep it alive. Prowlers beginning a change. Blacksmith couldn't get it out. Another keep by Frank Schumacher, but finally it's forced to center by the Wolves. Heinzel with a quick up towards Graham. He has it now. He'll saucer it in. Federley picks it up. Backhander stopped by Kozlowski, and he'll jump on top for a whistle and a face-off. That pass barely got through for Austin Federley. There were a couple of Wolves who were trying to knock it down. Somehow it got through, and Federley ended up with a nice backhand opportunity. Wolves had some pressure to start this game, and now the Prowlers are turning it the other direction on these last couple of shifts. They have the top line out there right now, do the Prowlers. Graham wins the faceoff, clean to Dalton Young. Rimmed all the way around, Freeborn to the point. Johnson walks down to Graham, has space. Backhand on the rebound, and Kozlowski made the save. He stopped the first one. I think Graham was playing a pass to himself off the pad because he had so much time and space, but then Kozlowski stretched out to stop the backhand opportunity on the rebound. Jay tried to take it with him, couldn't do so. Sim looking to turn the corner. He's taken into the boards, ends up winning that battle. This pass to Jay hit a stick. Comes out to the point, Deck, wrist shot through, stopped by Kozlowski. There was a rebound, and it just slips wide. That one rimmed all the way down, back to Prowler, icing waved off. And Deck keeps it moving. Quick shot by Doyle, kick save by Tynan. The lead pass on for Chartrand, hopped over his stick. Kozlowski out to play it, so no icing. Here's Jay from the sideboards. Toe drag, couldn't get the shot through. Now Jay out in front, and Foley couldn't reach for it. And they'll say offside called against the Wolves at the Prowler line. Prowlers pushing early on, but Spencer Kozlowski has made some big saves. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coats professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today. Face-off just outside Prowlers territory with 13:38 to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Still waiting for our first goal. Just a little bit longer than we waited last night. Prowlers opened the scoring in 59 seconds in last night's contest. We've played 6.5 so far. Seaman turned it right over to Scantleberry. He's back in, but then he gives it right back to Dakota Seaman. Scantleberry coming out from the wall. His backhander hit Blacksmith. Schumacher watched by Blacksmith. Schumacher able to give it to Foley. He'll retreat back behind his own net. And Heinzel starts out, chips it off the boards, keeps going, but he's rubbed out by Leeson. That will be a penalty because Adam Heinzel had dumped the puck away. So Leeson will get 2 minutes for interference, and the Prowlers' quality power play will go to work for the first time. 1 for 6 last night, but the bigger story is the Wolves penalty kill, which only killed off 1 of 4 penalties last weekend against the Motor City Rockers. They killed 5 of 6 last night against the Prowlers. Of course, that one for Port Huron was the game winner. Sim gives it to Merritt Out high to Federley. Walks back to Merritt. Federley, touch pass towards DeCumbus. Just got it down deep. Graham back out to DeCumbus. Federley again, 30 seconds gone on the power play. Federley, DeCumbus, tried to give it back, but that puck ends up sliding out of the zone. The Prowlers will begin to switch up the unit. Turnaround feed finds Graham. Now Sim had it taken off his stick by Mercurio. Good poke by Federley to keep it alive. Sim over to the wall. Freeborn down to Graham. In front looking for Merritt. I don't know if he got a stick on it or not, but either way, Kozlowski got a pad on it and it's cleared down. 54 seconds left to go on the Prowlers' first man advantage of the night. There's Dalton J working back in. Freeborn to Johnson. Now Scantleberry fires, and that one off the glove of Kozlowski. Freeborn back to Johnson. Right, wristed through. That hit a stick. Pops up in the air. Tomasi and Foley after it. They dig away in the corner. Jay trying to pull it back, and he finds Foley. Rimmed around. Scantleberry has it there. Down to Foley. Backdoor feed. Score! Dalton J in tight. Power play goal for the Prowlers. They open the scoring. First power play goal of the year for Dalton J. His 10th overall tally of the season. Surprising, we're already in February and it's only the first power play goal for Dalton J. After a 2-assist night last night, he picks up point number 498 in his FPHL career. That much closer to 500. As Gamzatov had his shot knocked out, continuing the chug. Set a centering feed that was taken away by Graham. Now Chartrand skates into it, chipping it along towards Graham. Blacksmith and Graham tie up in the corner. Deck off the boards finds Chartrand. Feathers it along. Here's Federley in the corner. Around towards Graham, tried to center for Chartrand. Knocked back to him. Graham towards Federley. That hit a skate and is dumped back out. Deck puts it back in. Prowlers making a full change. 10:15 left to go in period one. Doyle works it up to Pavlov. His pass knocked away by the back-checking stick of Evan Foley. Heinzel collapsed on by a couple of Wolves. Foley in there to help out. Dabari moves it behind the net. Mercurio trying to pick it up there. Schumacher rimmed it up the wall. Still behind the net now. Mercurio saucers a pass to the point. Wrist shot through. Stopped by Tynan. Turnaround try on the rebound by Sergeyev. Couldn't get it all the way to the net. Heinzel skating his way out. Turnaround pass right on the stick of Scantleberry, but his shot rode off the stick of Sergeyev. Sim. Back pass Johnson. One more over looking for Jay. And that was blocked. Dalton J flying around, able to lift a stick. Scantleberry turns the corner, his shot blocked. Johnson faked the drive. He keeps moving. Johnson to the net, and that one went off the side of the cage. I got a little excited because from here it looked like it may have gone in, but ended up hitting the side of the net. And a hand pass called against the Prowlers with 8:46 to go in period one. We'll take a timeout. Dalton J is first on the board tonight. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network. 8:46 to go in period one. We already mentioned it, Dalton J, the only goal so far. It puts him at 498 points for his FPHL career. That makes him 2 points away from becoming the third player in league history to 500 points. Tyler Jurich has 586 and Ahmed Mahfouz 885, the league's all-time leader. Of course, earlier this season, Jay became the first player in league history to score 200 goals as a member of one franchise. That is an icing against Watertown. Plenty of history surrounding Dalton J this season. It feels like just about every season he's involved in some kind of history like this. Always reaching those milestones. Prowlers franchise leader in goals and points. Matt Graham is out there on the ice right now, the franchise leader in assists. There's Johnson working in, just slipped that one wide. Past the outstretched toe of Kozlowski. Young from the point, shot it right into the catching glove. Now Spencer Kozlowski for a whistle and a face-off. Both teams will make changes. Blacksmith and Sim get set for this face-off. Tied up there, Doyle. Waits behind the net. He'll just send it up the boards. Heinzel beats his man to it. He's able to dump it right back in. Chartrand hustling towards Gingrich. Gingrich's long feed finds Leeson. He passed it off to Tomasi. He's forced to retreat. That pass up towards Blacksmith at the Prowler blue line over his stick. And the home run pass doesn't pay off this time for the Wolves. And the Prowlers will get an offensive zone face-off after the icing. Dalton J taking a shift with Matt Graham and Liam Freeborn. Jay off the face-off, slipped it through. Freeborn back in front, Jay scores again! Second of the period for number 92, and the Prowlers have a 2-0 lead. Freeborn put it back out in front, and Dalton J had a yawning cage to look at. After Jay got the original shot through off the face-off. Second of the night, and .499. And how cool would it be if Dalton J got point number 500 on a hat trick goal? So he's officially on hat trick watch. Foley, turned on by Scantleberry. Deck tried to chip it along. Wolves have to touch up for offside. So Merritt comes back for it. Matt Graham and Liam Freeborn picking up the assists on the goal by Dalton J. It's bounced in on Kozlowski. He'll cover up for a whistle and a face-off. 7:04 to go in period one. Prowlers up on shots right now, 14-4. The Wolves had a pretty good jump for the first maybe minute or two, but since then, it's been all Port Huron. That ice over to our left, much more chewed up than the ice down to our right. There's Hemming heading that way. He dumps it around. Young plays it off the boards to Johnson. Out towards Freeborn. Ended up out of his reach. Now he'll skate back into it. Freeborn slips around his man towards Graham. Backhander stopped. Rebound bouncing around. Cleared away by the Wolves. Thornton Off the glass, looking for Dabari. It was gloved down by Johnson, who was hit from behind. Nothing called. Federley's back in. Shoulder save made by Kozlowski. And Tynan will rim it up the glass, and it bounces past the oncoming Wolf. That was Dabari. Blacksmith steps in. Young poked it right off his stick. Thornton back after it to the slot. Leeson a drive. Stopped by Tynan. He didn't know where the rebound was. Blacksmith gets it to the point. Wrist shot. This time, Tynan has the rebound right in the catching glove. Or a whistle on a face-off. Leeson got a good chance. Tynan made most of that save. He got most of the puck. It ended up landing next to him on the crease. But by the time Shewett and Blacksmith got over to try and put that puck back on net, or at least get in position to, Tynan was already there. Chartrand thought he kept it in. Actually, they'll say it was offsides on the entry. Now Doyle wants after Scantlebury, and Tucker Scantlebury has no interest. And Leeson gives Scantlebury a little cross check. Scantlebury having words with Lord and Tomasi, who are standing up on the Wolves bench. Leeson leaning right on Scantlebury as the puck drops. And we'll get nothing further, at least for now. Foley tried to swoop in and steal the pass from Kozlowski. Said now it's Blacksmith the other direction. And Seaman went right after Scantlebury. Seaman wants a fight. No Prowlers were able to get after him as all the Wolves were cutting them off. And Tucker Scantlebury is still down on the ice. Dakota Seaman, completely away from the play, just went right at Tucker Scantlebury. Now, unfortunately, you can't see it on the broadcast. Of course, there is a live bar and camera here at McMorran Place, so if anybody is going to try to review that, they can check the live bar and camera. If that's legally admissible. I don't know how the Department of Player Safety works. Not sure if that would be legally admissible or not, but again, Dakota Seaman threw a hit on Tucker Scantlebury, completely away from the puck. The puck was deep in Prowler territory. The collision happened at center. It took Seaman right to the box. Seaman actually tossed his gloves off, but any Prowlers that were trying to get after him were impeded on the way through by Seaman's Watertown teammates. So we have Seaman in the box. And the referee's discussing. Evan Foley and Tate Leeson, the respective captains for their teams, over there to get the word. The referees tonight are Chris Hoy and Jonathan Paradise, the linesman Colin Pons and Brandon Badens. And Dakota Seaman has been sent off. So that will be the end of his night. And a 5-minute major coming up to Dakota Seaman, because I see 5 up on the board. Five and a half to go in period 1, and the Prowlers will be on the quality power play for the next 5. And we'll see if we get any supplemental discipline from the Department of Player Safety on Dakota Seaman after that, of course, it being a major penalty. So the Prowlers power play back to work. They're 1 for 1 tonight on the man advantage. Prowlers sending out Sam Merritt along with Sim, Graham, DeCumbus, and Federley. Start this lengthy power play. And off the drop, Sim able to find the loose puck. A match penalty assessed to Dakota Seaman for kneeing, along with a 10-minute misconduct. Tynan just gave it away. He tried to give it to DeCumbus, who didn't seem ready for it. Blacksmith trying to kill time. He gets around a few Prowlers, hands it off to Leeson, who made a move. Federley threw the hip at him. And the Wolves continue to kill time. Back in their own end, Mercurio turns and fires it down. And Federley collects behind his own net as Port Huron switches up the unit. A 5 and a 10 was what was announced here at McMorran Place. Scantlebury gives it down to Foley, has options. He'll wait and tried to feed it out high to Johnson, but he gave it away to Thornton. Tynan will play it with the goal stick over to the corner. And Johnson retreats behind his own net, and it's worked up. Jay was 2 in the game so far, 1 point away from 500. Here's Freeborn in. Drops it, Jay, off the post! That close to the storybook for Dalton Jay for point number 500. Bounced off the boards, over to Doyle. You could tell Freeborn was waiting for Dalton Jay to get in there. He wanted Jay to get that shot. It was a good shot, but not good enough to beat the iron. DeCumbus pokes it through, and it's backhanded out. Leeson hanging out by the Prowlers' blue line, gets there first, but he entered the offensive zone before the puck did, so offside. Called against the Watertown Wolves. 3:21 to go in period 1. Prowlers up by a pair. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious. Hungry?
Howie's! 3:21 left to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Prowlers still on the man advantage for 2 minutes and 51 seconds. If there was any concern for Tucker Scantlebury, he was out there for that last shift. He was calling for the puck on the back door, but the look was to Dalton Jay, who, as I've said already ad nauseum, the 1 point away from 500 and 1 goal away from a hat trick in tonight's game. Federley has space, wrist shot, stopped by Kozlowski. Leeson was biting on the pass, and Federley had some space right down Main Street. Federley touches it to DeCumbus, gets it back, wrists it through, stopped by Kozlowski, and Sim on the rebound. Also couldn't get it to go. Sim turns the corner on his backhand, and it's knocked down by Kozlowski. DeCumbus jamming at it. He pulls it out, gives to Federley, wrists it wide. 2 minutes left to go on the Prowlers power play. Chartrand's stick is broken, so he'll head to the bench for a new one. Now Merritt off the bench. The puck rolled up on him. And I think Kozlowski's mask is having some issues, so they'll blow it dead. They'll switch up the unit, and here comes number 92. Jay, Foley, Scantlebury, Freeborn, and Johnson. The power play unit for the Prowlers. Gingrich, Mercurio, Thornton, and Sergeyev chilling for Watertown now. Minute 45 left on the Prowlers man advantage. They battle for it in the corner. Foley able to work it out. Freeborn to Johnson. Saucers it back across. Ends up kicking to Jay. Freeborn to Johnson. Jay! Oh, just slipped through his stick. Foley behind the net. To Scantlebury. Foley again. Out to Scantlebury. One-timed it, but couldn't find it on target. Scantlebury takes it away. Out high, Freeborn. Turning. Jay in the corner. Back over to Freeborn. Jay again. As Foley posts up, gives it to Freeborn. That one kicks off of Gingrich's foot and flies out of play. 56 seconds left to go on the Prowlers power play. They haven't scored on it yet. They have 3 shots so far on this 5-minute power play. Right now I'm seeing on my penalty sheet here, Dakota Seaman getting 5 for kneeing, 5 for attempt to injure, and both of those are ejections, and a 10-minute game misconduct for slashing. That one pinballs around. Graham trying to reach for it. Didn't get on net clean off the shot from DeCumbis, but it ended up causing a little bit of trouble for Spencer Kozlowski. DeCumbis has it again. They'll give to Federley. Wrists it through off the back wall. I think it's deflected on the way through. Merritt cycles it to the corner. Gingrich there first. And Tomasi able to backhand it all the way down. Final 15 seconds ticking off this Prowlers power play. So for Watertown, looks like a lengthy PK is successful, and Wolves stay within 2. Here comes Brian Parsons. Enters offensive territory, drops it to Foley. Knocked off his stick. Looking towards Chartrand behind the net, rimmed around by Hemming. And that will go for icing, as we are back to even strength with 19.6 seconds. Face-off will come all the way down to Kozlowski's end. Foley, Freeborn, Chartrand, Johnson, and Schumacher. Bit of a mixed group out there for the Prowlers. In the final seconds of this opening period. And they blow it dead. Not sure why. Hemming went to the bench and Lord hopped on. Not sure what the issue was, but a second did come off the clock. Johnson plays it off the boards down towards Foley. Turning behind the net. Now to Schumacher, has a lane. Goes all the way around, he's tripped up. Play continues. Johnson with 3. Tripped up as well. Couldn't get the shot off until the very end. And then Freeborn getting involved with Lord. Lord grabbing Freeborn now. Foley gets in between. Johnson is making a slashing motion with his stick, and things are just heating up here from McMorran Place. The Prowlers will head to the locker room with a 2-0 lead through 20 minutes of play. Shots on goal favoring the Prowlers 20-7. And that is tied for the second most shots for the Prowlers in any period this season, second most in a first period this year. And they got 2 goals past Spencer Kozlowski. And we will have 40 more minutes to go after this intermission. Coming up in the first intermission, Super Shorties. We take a look at the Prowlers' shorthanded goals this season. They have 8, second most in the FPHL. 4 of them have been game winners, and a lot of them have been big goals. So we take a look back at all of them so far this year. We also take a look at some storylines around the FPHL, out-of-town scoreboard, and much more. It's all coming up on the PHP Network first intermission report. But once again, here at McMorran Place, 2-0 Prowlers through 20 minutes of play. Valentine's Day is almost here, so get the styles you'll love at the Port Huron Prowlers team store. The store features lace-up sweatshirts, mitt stalls, team issue apparel, and more, with new merch coming in all season long. Come find us on the west end of McMorran Arena at every home game or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. And you can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your POHO best with gear from the Prowlers team store. First intermission underway here at McMorran Place, and we are going to send you to break, and when we come back, we'll take a look back at all of the Prowlers' shorthanded goals in our feature we call Super Shorties. It's all coming up next on the PHP Network.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Spits off out to Milan. He missed it. Tecumseh is off to the races. He'll beat Gonzalez there. Tecumseh with an open net. He scores! Shorthanded goal for Vinny Tecumseh, and it's the Prowlers who take the lead on the Rockers' power play. Delaney has it again. Now Jay scooping up that loose puck. Working on Delaney. Jay to the net. He scores! Dalton Jay short-handed, and the Prowlers have tied it up. Supperdini had it taken away. Here's Picard alone. He scores! Shorthanded goal for Brandon Picard. That will give the Prowlers a little bit of life as they get themselves within 4. It's a 6-2 game now. Is Freeborn back to the trailer. Johnson had to rehandle the puck. His shot stopped, and the rebound put in by Tucker Scantleberry. And the Prowlers get one back. It's a shorthanded goal. Makes it 7-3. Jay tried to move the other direction with it. Holt kept it. Quick shot by Colton. Stopped by Tynan. Colton gloves it down at the line. Gave it away. Here's Jay on a breakaway. Score! Dalton Jay, short-handed, restores the 3-goal lead for the Prowlers. Gave it up to Foley. He'll bounce it off the wall, head after it. Milam got there first, but Foley takes it. He scores! Evan Foley, shorthanded goal. Prowlers up 2-0. Out high to Rogers. Over to Vartian, one-timer. He whiffed on it. Merritt trying to work the other direction. Now Jay picks up the puck. Prowlers have a 2-on-1. Jay to Merritt. Score! The 2-on-1 short-handed. Another shorty for the Prowlers this season. They're 7th. With 8.5 to go in the first, Port Huron has the lead again. Side, it's Lord. Dumps it in, heads after it himself. Tynan plays it away. Johnson able to get it out all the way down, right on Bouchard's tape. Long lead pass, cut off by Chartrand as Foley going to net. He shoots, he scores! Dan Chartrand, a shorty, puts the Prowlers back in front.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Welcome back to McMorran Place. First intermission wrapping up, and it's the Prowlers with a 2-0 lead over the Watertown Wolves. Will Wiggleman back with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight in the second of 2 games this weekend between the Wolves and the Prowlers, as it's a busy night in the FPHL with plenty of other games going on, but only one of them has gotten underway already, and show them to you in just a moment. The Prowlers trying to complete the weekend sweep of these Watertown Wolves, as they hold the 2-0 lead through 20 minutes. And now we take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. Only one game already underway. The rest getting set to drop the puck momentarily. The Binghamton Black Bears have a 1-0 lead on the Motor City Rockers at the moment, on the strength of a goal by Austin Thompson. And that is the only goal so far outside of this building here tonight. As for the rest of the games, the Elmira River Sharks and Danbury Hat-Tricks are wrapping up a home-and-home series after Elmira blasted Danbury last night at home at 7-3. Hat-Tricks hoping for a bounce-back effort. Meanwhile, the Carolina Thunderbirds visit the Blue Ridge Bobcats in another battle of that rivalry. And finally, the Mississippi Seawolves and Columbus River Dragons will meet with the Dragons on a 12-game winning streak. That is our lead story tonight, as the Dragons came back to defeat the Baton Rouge Zydeco 8-5 last night to win their 12th in a row and continue to hold serve atop the Continental Division. The Rockers certainly happy to have Trevor Babin back from his one-game suspension after they gave up 7 goals last night, falling 7-5 at home to Binghamton. We also mentioned the River Sharks crushing the Danbury Hat-Tricks 7-3 last night to move within 4 points of a playoff spot. And they are within 4 points of these Watertown Wolves for the final playoff spot in the Empire Division. Turn our attention back to tonight's game. Prowlers up 2-0. They thoroughly outshot the Wolves 20-7 in that opening period. They went 1 for 2 on the man advantage, and the Wolves obviously certainly leading the Prowlers significantly in the penalty minutes category, of course, because of Dakota Seaman mostly. Now they've changed those penalties again. Dakota Seaman now is a 5-minute major for clipping and a match penalty also for clipping. And we'll see if that's where it stays, but either way, it's 10 minutes for Dakota Seaman, and he's done for the evening. Prowlers have 2 penalty minutes up on the board now, as Liam Freeborn, interestingly enough, picked up a roughing penalty right at the end of that period in that little scrum that ensued. And it was interesting that Freeborn is the one that picks up the penalty, but he is the only one to get a call. So the Prowlers will be shorthanded to begin this second period. And as both teams get set to hit the ice, we check in with our PHP Network trivia question. Wolves and the Prowlers both played in the FPHL without the other one at some point in their histories. What was the first season they were both in the league together? Put your answer in the comment section. We'll give you the correct answer ahead of the third period as the Wolves take the ice, and soon to be followed by the Port Huron Prowlers for this second period. Back on the ice, Tucker Tynan getting set in the goal crease to our left. 7 saves on 7 Wolves shots in that opening period. Spencer Kozlowski, you see him there on your screen in the goal crease to our right, as he made 18 saves on 20 Prowlers shots in the opening 20 minutes. A 1 shot a minute. The average for the Prowlers right now, not too bad, but they'll have to kill for the next 2. To begin this second period, Liam Freeborn takes his seat in the penalty box. 2 minutes for roughing. And the Wolves power play will go to work for the first time. They were 3 for 5 last night. All 3 Watertown goals in last night's game came on the man advantage. Going back up against the Prowlers' last place penalty kill in the FPHL. But as you saw during our intermission feature, this is a PK that is opportunistic. It was last night as Dan Chartrand scored on one of the successful penalty kills for the Prowlers. Actually, the only successful PK report here on last night was on a 4-minute double minor. Again, Chartrand getting a short-handed goal on that one. Here's Lord giving it over. Pavlov, Gleason, wrist shot from the outside, juggled and held by Tucker Tynan. Wolves have Lord, Pavlov, Leeson, Gamzatov, and Botero out there right now. Prowlers with Graham, Jay, Schumacher, and Parsons killing at the moment. They'll redrop this one. And Botero will take it against Matt Graham. And we'll try again. Leeson and Parsons just a bit too quick off the hop on the far side boards. Hopefully, third time's the charm. Eventually, I'm sure this puck will be dropped. And now, here we go. Dalton Jay scoops it up, chips it around Pavlov, but Lord gets there ahead of him. Lord turning, and he drops it off for Pavlov. Leeson flying in, gets to the net, kicked out by Tynan, slid across the crease before it's cleared out to Lord. Shot blocked by Graham. Lord on the follow-up, stopped by Tynan, bounces around, and Parsons has it in the corner, but it's taken back by the Wolves. Leeson cross-side speed. Lord set to pass to the point, but Botero is down. There's no arms in the air, now there is. Parsons is picking up a tripping penalty after he fell down and took down Leeson with him. So the Prowlers will now be down 2 men, 5-on-3 for the next 36 seconds. Wolves with a big opportunity here. They already have 3 shots in this period. Johnson, Foley, and Federley out there for this defensive zone draw. Doyle gets it back. Ian Leeson play catch. They continue to pass it along, and now Blacksmith gets involved. Tried to feed it back to Leeson. Federley collects and backhands it down. Final 17 seconds ticking off of Freeborn's penalty. There's Doyle pulling up. Couldn't get around Graham, who gets it back out to center. Mercurio winds up, steps in with a shot right into the chest of Tucker Tynan. He'll hang on for a whistle and a face-off just as Freeborn steps out of the box. So Prowlers can reset their penalty killers here, as they had 3 forwards on the ice when Freeborn stepped out of the box. Minute 22 left to go on the Wolves' power play. Pavlov walks the line, fires a drive, blocked by Merritt, and Tynan has the rebound. Sam Merritt bravely in the shooting lane there. That was a rip from Pavlov, and Merritt will head to the bench as Evan Foley steps on for him. This off one back to Lord. Wrists it through, knocked down in front. Heinzel finds it, gets it as far as Pavlov, but he's forced to retreat back to his own end. Head up, and he finds A man at center, it's Gamzatov. Giving over to Lord. The backdoor try was stymied by a Prowler stick. Freeborn couldn't get it out. Or he did get it out, so delayed offsides right now against Watertown. Schumacher just holding on, wasting time, and he'll float it 185 feet. Lord pulling up on Sharktran. Makes a couple of moves at center, dangles his own man Botero at the blue line. Lord still with it. Now behind the Prowler net. Blacksmith gives it to Doyle. The one-time blast. That one blocked by Sharktran. Prowler's getting in the shooting lanes on this penalty kill that has 9 seconds left in it. And it looks like they'll be successful as Blacksmith is chased down by Sharktran. Blacksmith almost gave it away right to Dan Sharktran. Schumacher turned it over. Here comes Tomasi in. Kick save by Tynan. He's got the rebound as it bounced back to him, and he'll collect and slow things down for a whistle and a face-off. 16:25 to go in period number 2. Prowlers kill off 2 penalties. Wolves get 6 shots. Or 5 shots, excuse me, on the 2 penalties. Then up to 7 in the period. That is 3 minutes and 35 seconds old after having 7 the entire first period. William Goodboot back in his own end. The pass out by Sergeyev, taken away by Graham. Federley, Graham couldn't load it up. Had Goodboot bearing down on him. And Braden Deck moves it up the wall towards Freeborn. He turns the corner, finds Federley, who gives it back. Freeborn surrounded, gets a shot away, and it's gobbled up by Kozlowski. He'll get a whistle and a face-off. Tristan Simsline stepping out there. It includes Dalton Jay, and if you're just joining us recently, Dalton Jay has 2 goals in this game, and he is now 1 point away from becoming the 3rd player in FPHL history to 500 points. And if he could do it with a hat trick, that would be a nice little storybook moment for one of the best goal scorers in league history. Here's Doyle with a toe drag shot, blocked by Johnson. Johnson able to chip it out, Jay after it. Doyle took it away. Now over on the near side, it's Lord. Poked off his stick by Young. Lord tried to wrap, couldn't get it to go. Doyle needs it down deep. Johnson and Leeson come together. Centering feed. Pavlov couldn't handle it. He tried to put it back on net, couldn't do so. And now Jay sends Sim in, trying to dangle around Gingrich, and he drew a penalty as Gingrich wrapped his arm around Tristan Sim while he was trying to get around. Holding will be the call, and the Prowlers back to the man advantage for the 3rd time tonight. They're 1 for 2 so far, successful on a 2-minute power play. Unsuccessful, though, on the 5-minute major. It's their first chance of the 2nd period. Already our 3rd penalty of the middle frame. It's just a tick away from being 5 minutes old. Watertown still needs 1 more skater, and Josh Tomasi will head out there to join the rest of the penalty killers. Matt Graham's unit out there right now will draw with Thornton, or Mercurio, excuse me. Off the face-off, Federley just couldn't keep that dump in at the line. DeCumbus pulls up, looking towards Sim. It's bounced back to Merritt. Makes a move around a couple of Wolves, walks in, saved by Kozlowski as Sam Merritt had the red carpet rolled out for him to walk right down the slot. Kozlowski all the way out the top of his crease, able to make the save. 15 seconds gone in the Prowlers power play. Well, the rest of it when we come back. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today. Prowlers power play continuing here with 14:43 left to go in period number 2. They'll keep the same unit out there. Graham and Mercurio will take another face-off together. Now Merritt and Sergeyev getting into a little jousting over on the far side of the circle. Doyle rims it around. Federley kept it in, but Sergeyev this time able to dump it out, and Merritt came flying in to throw the body on him. Tecumbe skates out with it. Enters offensive territory, drops to Graham. Now on for Merritt, his wrist shot fired wide. And Doyle off the top of the glass and out. Sim keeps it in front of him. Mercurio dumps it back down. Thornton one-on-one with Federley. Tried to send it towards the net. Federley threw the body at him, and the puck slid right to Tynan. He kept it moving. There's an arm up in the air. I think it's a late penalty against Watertown. Tynan going slowly towards the Prowlers bench. Scantleberry sent it down towards the net, and as Doyle or Kozlowski touched it, Doyle throwing a little cross-check into Matt Graham. Maybe some frustrations here from the Watertown Wolves, trying to goat the Prowlers into a penalty. And they have Thornton heading to the box. So as I was watching that puck move up the ice, I must have missed the penalty on Thornton. The 5-on-3 for the Prowlers for the next 49 seconds, and they switch up the power play unit, and that means Dalton Jay out there again. Cross-checking the call against Thornton. And off the draw, Scantleberry trying to poke it away from Hemming. Blacksmith able to find it. They'll skate and waste some time. And Blacksmith dumps it in. Johnson moves up on the Freeborn on the right wing side. Freeborn to Jay. Couldn't handle the pass. Liam Freeborn has eyes for Dalton Jay right now, trying to set him up for .500. And if you don't think they know, they know. Everyone on that Prowlers bench knows. Here's Scantleberry around the net. Freeborn to Johnson. It's now 5-on-4. Johnson towards the net. Not all the way through to Scantleberry. Out high, Freeborn. Johnson to Foley. Back to Johnson. Jay is set up in front of the net. Freeborn, Scantleberry whiffed on the one-timer. Doyle claps it around. And it goes all the way down to Tynan. The Prowlers will get a change going. 45 seconds left to go on their power play. As Federley steps back in, down towards Merritt. Sergeyev got in the way. He backhands it all the way down. Tynan all the way in the corner to play it. That tips off of Lord's stick and out of play. And Lord and Tynan get into a little stick lifting match, and Matt Graham comes in to defend his goaltender. "30 seconds left to go on the Prowlers' man advantage. 12:20 left in period number 2. Faceoff will be deep in Port Huron territory. Actually, looks like they're moving it outside. So the faceoff will be outside of Prowlers territory. Graham and Mercurio in on this faceoff. Graham wins it back. Federally over to DeCumbus. DeCumbus quickly up towards Sim. Had to come back for it. Plays it off the boards back to Vinny DeCumbus. Area pass. Graham tried to move it along. Mercurio skates into it. On net. Stopped by Tynan. Graham takes the drop pass. Works back in. Ends up falling to Sim. His wrist shot went high and wide. Back to 5-on-5. Sim attacked by Thornton, who came right out of the penalty box. And he causes a turnover. Heinzel and Mercurio after that puck. Mercurio dropped it off, but Merritt the first one there. Lord and Heinzel coming together in the corner. Thornton towards Mercurio. Sits there right next to the crease. Tynan will cover up for a whistle and a face-off, and another penalty is coming up. Looks like Adam Heinzel will be headed to the penalty box this time. Penalties coming fast and furious now. Just as soon as one team's on the power play, they're back to the PK and vice versa. This time it's the Wolves to the man advantage. Watertown up on shots right now at 9-2. Between those last two penalties for Watertown, Prowlers only with one shot. And none on the 5-on-3. Pavlov, Lord, the one-timer. Couldn't find the target. Hooking the call against Adam Heinzel. Pavlov comes out high towards Leeson. Slipped under his stick and out to center. Patero had it poked away. Chartrand tried to send it in. He has it back on his stick. Surrounded by gray sweaters. Lord takes it. Gives it up to Leeson. Flying in on the left wing side. Pushed off the puck. And Freeborn sends it off the linesman. I thought he sent it all the way down. That was the intention here. Scantleberry. And his pass ended up going off a Wolves defender and on net. And it's chipped up to Leeson again. He finds Pavlov at the point. Now to Lord walking in. His wrist shot didn't go. And Scantleberry sends it all the way down. 50 seconds left on the penalty to Adam Heinzel. Pavlov. Out high to Lord. Across to Blacksmith. Down to Mercurio. Around the net. Floats it high to Lord again. Wrist shot blocked by Graham. Second try stop by Tynan. And the third shot flies over top of the net. And Jay able to poke it out. Another block shot by the Prowlers. And here come the Wolves back in with numbers. Mercurio to Blacksmith on the back door, and he scores. Prowlers tried to get a change off, but the Wolves came back quickly. And the backdoor play to Chouette and Blacksmith goes. The Wolves have cut the lead in half. '17th of the year for Chouette and Blacksmith. We talked about him in the pregame show as being the main catalyst for the secondary scoring behind Leeson and Lord. And he gets Watertown's first one tonight. Patero and Sim on this. They saw Patero slipped it through. Tynan out to play it. They'll float it. And Sergeyev collects in his own end. Up the wall, comes to Tomasi, who tips it in. Tynan back out. Good boot over to Sergeyev. Back towards Good boot, ends up bouncing to Thornton. Lead pass across, and that one slipped right through the crease. Not sure if Tynan actually got a piece of it or not. Schumacher played it off the boards, and it lands in the Wolves bench. So we got a whistle and a face-off. Shewett Blacksmith as Watertown within one. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network. Back here at McMorran Place, 9:04 to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. Wolves have recently gotten on the board, gotten themselves back within one. They're out shooting the Prowlers right now 11-3 in this second period. Prowlers still up on shots for the game, 23-18. But the Wolves have controlled play for a good part of this second period, including when they had power plays, but even when the Prowlers had man advantages, couldn't get much going towards the net. And it's now a one-goal game as Sim wins it. Blacksmith takes control for Watertown. Leeson played it back to the corner. Lord gets it up to Gingrich. His shot goes wide and deflects up towards Decumbus. Wolves stacking this forward line. Lord, Leeson, and Blacksmith, their top three leaders in points. Parsons just fires it out. Doyle sauces it on to Gingrich. Rink wide feed comes to Lord. He has a step, and he's stopped by Tynan. I think Frank Schumacher was jumping up, trying to cut off that pass. It ended up getting all the way to Lord. He came in with a step on the outside, but Tucker Tynan able to stop it and hang on for a whistle. Alex Johnson gives it to Foley. Now on to Tucker Scantleberry, has Merritt joining him. Scantleberry from the outside sticks to Kozlowski. He'll hang on for another whistle and another face-off. This time it will be down in his end. So the Prowlers have that Evan Foley line out there. Foley wins it back. Johnson walks the line. Tried a wrist shot that was blocked by Mercurio up in the air and caught by Kozlowski. 8:02 now to go in the period. And we'll have another face-off. Go Hemming behind his own net, off the glass and out. That one will go all the way down, but on net. So Tynan will be forced to cover up for another whistle and another face-off. Tynan has made 20 saves so far tonight. He had 31 last night in the 4-3 win for the Prowlers. trying to improve on what are some very impressive numbers for Tucker Tynan. There's Scantleberry in, long range try, gobbled up by Kozlowski, and he'll hang on for another whistle and another face-off. Tynan right now not eligible to be part of the league leaders in the goaltending stats, but if he was, his .239 goals against average would be second in the league, and his .931 save percentage would also be second to Mario Cavalieri, who's currently playing in the SPHL. Parsons gives it to Graham. Now across towards Heinzel. Federley with a steal in the corner. Couldn't pull it out though. Sergeyev one-hands it along. Bounces it off the boards. Parsons takes it away from Thornton. Parsons around the net, gaining speed. There comes Brian Parsons looking towards Freeborn. He hit Leeson with the pass. Heinzel puts it back towards Wolves territory. Parsons on towards Sim. Sergeyev trying to turn it back out. Sim in there on the forecheck. DeCumbis swoops in for the puck. Heinzel at the point, back to DeCumbis. Penalty coming up against Watertown. So another Prowlers power play. High stick is the signal from the referee. And the parade to the box continues. They'll send out Evan Foley's unit with Dalton J on the right wing. Again, still 1 point away from 500. Maybe if I say it enough, it will sound good on the highlight reel. Johnson scores! Alex Johnson just slipped in on the left wing side, and he finds the far corner over the shoulder of Kozlowski to extend the Prowler lead. What a shot by Alex Johnson. Not too much velocity on it, but he put it in the right spot. He beats Kozlowski for his 10th goal of the year, 5th on the man advantage. Second power play goal of the night for the Prowlers. And they respond to Watertown's power play marker here in the second period. And no, for anyone asking, Dalton J will not get an assist on that goal. Slipped towards the net. Tynan poked it away. Now Dalton Young had his pocket picked. Here's Mercurio in front, slides around. Tynan looking for it. Graham able to clear it as far as the line. And now that shot taken away by Young. He'll loft it out. Graham chasing after it, tried to turn it back towards the net, but Freeborn wasn't there. Freeborn and Foley picking up the assist on that goal by Alex Johnson. Back towards the net, stopped by Kozlowski. Freeborn has his second assist of the night. He's extended his point streak to 13. Here comes Evan Foley back in. His shot knocked down by Kozlowski. He sticks it to the corner. Heinzel down low looking towards Merritt. And I think it hopped up a little bit. Kozlowski may have gotten a piece as well as Merritt was coming towards the back of the crease. Now Foley back in with Merritt. Foley to Merritt, and he just handcuffed him with the pass. Is not in the right spot. Couldn't get it there with a Wolf in between. Chartrand with a shot blockered by Kozlowski. Prowlers all over the Wolves right now. Tomasi watched by DeCumbis. Sergeyev plays it around to Doyle. He bounces it off the board. Sim just couldn't hold the line, but Schumacher will skate into it, bring it back in. And he cycles it deep. Sergeyev first on it. Chartrand in there, stolen by Sim. Out high, Schumacher wrists it down deep. Had traffic in front. Chartrand dumped on top of Kozlowski. Chartrand and Doyle having some words, and Botero's in the other direction. Tynan pokes that puck away. Lord back on net, and another save for Tucker Tynan. Centering feed, hit a couple of skates, and Cumbus is out with Dalton J. It's dumped in right on Kozlowski, and he will stick it and cover it to get a whistle and a face-off and a timeout. Alex Johnson has restored the Prowlers' 2-goal lead with his power play goal. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious.
Hungry?
Howie's! 3:41 to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. Prowlers up by 2 on the strength of Alex Johnson's recent power play goal. They'll get an offensive zone face-off here and send out the top line. Federley, Freeborn, and Matt Graham. Graham will take this face-off against Blacksmith. Off the draw, Blacksmith knocked it away from Federley, who came in to pull it out of the pile. Young quickly across, finds Freeborn. Lord trying to rub him out. Now Freeborn behind the net, drops it off to Federley. He'll cycle it around, Freeborn chasing after it. Graham first on it, turning on Blacksmith. Couldn't center the puck. The 2-a-side scrum ensuing behind the net. Freeborn pulls it out. Out high to Young. Wrists it deep. Off the wall. Comes towards Federley. But hopped away from him. And Lord bounces it out. Banked on by Young. Hemming looking to turn it the other direction. Lord had it poked away from him. And now Federley's back in on sides. And he just couldn't find the far side on Kozlowski. Foley looking towards Scantleberry, who just hopped off the bench. And now a turnover. Foley dumps it right back in. Kozlowski gathers it and puts the glove on top. Shots now 15-11 in favor of Watertown in this period. Make it 15-12. Prowlers have 6 of the last 7 shots in this game. All coming since that penalty to Sergeyev that Alex Johnson was able to convert on. Scantleberry turns and fires. It hops away off a stick. Scantleberry pulls it back. Pavlov dumps it out, and it's knocked down by a high stick, I believe, of a Prowler. So as Parsons touches it, that draws the whistle. We have another face-off, this time just outside of Prowler's territory. faceoff. Braden Deck looking towards Jay. They couldn't connect. Doyle reverses to Gingrich. Pulling up behind the net. Lost the handle momentarily. Now his long lead pass is cut off by Parsons. He chips it around. Doyle gets it himself and rims it deep. Jay touches it back behind the cage. Parsons and Doyle come together. And Doyle gave Parsons a slash. And Doyle will head to the penalty box. Minute 45 to go in the second period. And Noah Doyle, who currently has the distinction of most goals without an assist in the FPHL, with 5 goals and no assists this season, will sit in the box for 2. So he gave Brian Parsons a slash on the way back up the ice. And if the Prowlers don't score, this power play will leak into period number 3. And now Mercurio is being sent to the locker room. My only guess is that something was said on the bench. That won't affect on-ice manpower. There's Freeborn off the face-off. Fires it across to Johnson, back across looking towards Dalton Jay. That hit a stick. Foley had the puck, or his stick knocked out of his hands. He picks it back up. Meanwhile, Johnson in his own end turns it on for Jay. He pulls up, sauces it across towards Freeborn. He settles it down. Johnson down towards Foley, but he couldn't handle it. 10-minute misconduct issued to Mercurio for abuse of officials. Here's Freeborn with a shot. Knocked down by Kozlowski. The turnaround try from Jay. Kicked out. Scantleberry, a drive. That was deflected. And Kozlowski able to make the save. And it's cleared out. So we're under a minute to go in period number 2. Prowlers switching up the power play unit. Johnson played it over to the near side. Nobody home. And Lord dumps it back around. DeCumbis moves it on to Sim. Steps around his man. Back towards DeCumbis. He hit him with the pass. DeCumbis has it again. He cycles it down deep towards Merritt. Prowlers have the full unit out there now. Sim out high to DeCumbis with 20. Over to Federley. He lost the handle. Federley with 13, down to Merritt. Tried to force a pass across. It's gloved down by Sim. Back to Federley with 5. Tried to fire a pass across to DeCumbis. 3 seconds left in the period. They have to get it quickly, and Graham has sent it towards the cage. That's going to do it for 40 minutes of play here from McMorran Place. Prowlers with a 3-1 lead after each team picks up a goal in period 2. Shots on goal in that middle frame, 15 apiece, which is very surprising. It's a little surprising considering what the shots were early on in the period, with Watertown dominating the first half, but the Prowlers bounce back in those last few minutes. They get a goal and they restore their 2-goal lead. They're up on shots 35-22 through 2 periods of play. Coming up in the second intermission, we'll talk about this game so far. The big thing we're all waiting for, of course. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And we'll also take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, rivalry week next week. So we'll take a look at all that, out-of-town scoreboard, and more. It's all coming up on the PHP Network second intermission report. So the Prowlers have a 3-1 lead over the Watertown Wolves through 40 minutes of play. So secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game as they host the Motor City Rockers on Friday, February 16th, with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets by phone at 810-985-6166 or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166 or scan the QR code on your screen now to experience Prowlers hockey live and in person at the Old Barn McMorran Place the way it was meant to be enjoyed. Prowlers have a 2-goal lead, same as they did heading into the second period. They'll take it into the third. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession for your giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious.
Hungry
Howie's!
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
welcome back to McMorran Place. They're getting set to clean up the Chuckapucks. And the Prowlers have a 3-1 lead on the Watertown Wolves. Will Wiggleman back with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. The second game of a 2-game set between the Prowlers and the Wolves this weekend. Prowlers took the first game last night, a tight one, 4-3. And the Wolves scoring all 3 of their goals last night on the power play. Their only goal tonight also on the man advantage, which I guess says a few things. 1, Prowlers need to clean up the penalty kill a little bit. 2, Prowlers might want to stay out of the box, which they've done a good job of tonight. And the Wolves have certainly tried to goat them into penalties at different points during this game, but the Prowlers have stayed very, very disciplined so far in this one. So that's certainly a credit to them. But it also says that the Prowlers have been outplaying the Wolves at 5-on-5, which they have for the most part throughout this entire weekend, especially tonight. And it's caused some frustration amongst the Watertown Wolves players. I mean, you saw Noah Doyle with what was a frustration slashing penalty. And then Michael Mercurio gets the 10 minutes for abuse of officials immediately after that. And it's a frustrated Watertown group that's looking behind them in the standings and now sees the Elmira River Sharks just a few points away. So they're looking in the rear view mirror, and Sharks are closer than they appear. And we'll give you the River Sharks score coming up in just a little bit here on the intermission report. They're battling for that final playoff spot in the Empire Division. The Prowlers have a playoff spot pretty well locked up, as do all 4 teams currently in playoff positioning in the Continental. There's about a 20 or so point gap between Mississippi in 4th place and the Blue Ridge Bobcats in 5th place in the Continental. Right now, the Prowlers looking behind them towards the Mississippi Seawolves, who are 7 points back now behind the Prowlers, who are playing the white-hot Columbus River Dragons tonight. Again, we'll also have that score for you. But the big story tonight has been Dalton Jay. Scored 2 goals in the first period to pull him within 1 point of becoming the 3rd player in FPHL history to 500 for his career. He's had some opportunities throughout the rest of the game, hasn't been able to convert that 3rd one yet, but they're looking for him. He has 2 goals. Liam Freeborn and Evan Foley have a couple of assists apiece. And with that, that's a 2-point night for a player on each of the Prowlers' 3 forward lines. So they're spreading it out a little bit. Of course, the power play is helping that. 2 power play goals for Port Huron in this game so far. Alex Johnson has 1. Jay has the other. But Prowlers trying to complete the sweep here this weekend of the Watertown Wolves and continue their little hot streak that they have going. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 2 in a row. And they're trying to continue to secure that 3rd seed in the Continental Division and maybe even catch the Carolina Thunderbirds for 2nd place in the division, and that would give them home ice advantage in a potential first round meeting between the Prowlers and the Thunderbirds. It would be the 4th straight time the Prowlers have made the playoffs and faced the Thunderbirds, and it would be the matchup in the first round for the 3rd straight year. But of course, that's about 2 months off from now. We still have 20 more minutes to go in this game. Prowlers trying to close it out against the Watertown Wolves. We'll have the out-of-town scoreboard for you, Prowlers' upcoming schedule, and the stats from the game so far when we come back on the PHP Network.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Will Wiggleman back once more here on the PHP Network at McMorran Place. Prowlers still with that 3-1 lead as we get set for period number 3. Before we get you set for the final 20 minutes of regulation, we take a look around the FPHL at our out-of-town scoreboard. We start about 45 minutes down the road in Fraser, where the Motor City Rockers have scored 3 straight in the second period to take a 3-1 lead. George Holt, TJ Delaney, and Adam Kuhn, the goal scorers for Motor City. Delaney with a goal and an assist. Jonathan Giuliano, a 2 helper night, as the Rockers trying to knock off the top team in the Empire Division and earn a weekend split. Third 20 minutes of play in Danbury. The Hat-Tricks and the Elmira River Sharks are tied up at 2 after Elmira won last night in Elmira 7-3. Danbury trying to salvage a split, and it's been back and forth in this one so far. Stephen Klink and MJ Markle have the 2 for Elmira. Brandon Stoychevsky and Corey Cunningham, the 2 for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. The Blue Ridge Bobcats hosting the Carolina Thunderbirds through 20 minutes of play. Dawson Baker has the only tally, and Carolina is up 1-0. They get set for the second period. Finally, this one much important to the Prowlers. 2-0 Columbus through 20 minutes against the Mississippi Seawolves. Dragons up on shots 21-6. Carter Shimkarek, Kyle Moore have the goals for the River Dragons. That is your out-of-town scoreboard, so certainly plenty of places to go once this game expires to find some third period action, maybe some overtime. We'll see. Some close games around the league right now. Now I take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule. And next weekend it will be the Motor City Rockers, a home and home here at McMorran Place on Friday at 7:05, and then at Big Boy Arena on Saturday at 6:05. Well, both of those games here for you on the PHP Network, but of course, for that home game, be sure to get out to McMorran Place. Should be another great rivalry matchup between the Prowlers and the Motor City Rockers. So come out to make more in place and help the Prowlers cheer them to victory, and as they try to continue to get some victories in the Battle of I-94, which right now Prowlers are standing at 5-5-1, which means Motor City has won 6 of the first 11, but still plenty of meetings to go. 7 more matchups between these two teams scheduled for the rest of this season. Then after that, Prowlers have a week off. The last week of February, no games for Port Huron as they gear up for the stretch run. Let's take a look at tonight's game, and you see the glaring disparity on the penalty minutes line there. 30 for Watertown, including a 10-minute misconduct and a couple of 5-minute majors. 5-minute majors assessed to Seaman, and the 10-minute misconduct to Mercurio. 30-6 Watertown. I would say the advantage in penalty minutes, but I don't think that's really the stat line that you want to have the bigger number. Prowlers have the bigger number where it matters. 3-1, they're leading, and they're up on shots 35-22. 2 for 5 on the man advantage right now. They have 14 seconds left on their sixth power play of the night. And they will begin that as soon as we begin this third period. But before we do, we take a look back at our PHP Network trivia question. Wolves and the Prowlers both played in the FHL, FPHL. They've played in both, as it has been named. They both played a season without the other one. We want to know what the first season was where they were both in the league. And the answer is 2016-17, the year the Prowlers were the defending champions. But neither the Wolves nor the Prowlers able to win the Commissioner's Cup that season. 2016-17, your answer. After the Wolves took a hiatus in 2015-16, that was the Prowlers' inaugural season, and the Prowlers ended up winning the Commissioner's Cup that year. And that's your PHP Network trivia question for tonight, as both teams taking the ice to begin this third period. Spencer Kozlowski getting in the crease, 2 hours left, as he has stopped 32 of 35 Prowler shots so far. You just saw Tucker Tynan just outside the goal crease to our right. He has made 21 saves on 22 Watertown shots. 14 seconds left on this Prowlers power play. And they get set for period 3. They send out not a power play unit. Instead, they'll just send out their first line. And Dalton Young and Alex Johnson's defense pair. Graham and Blacksmith will take the face-off, and we're underway. There's Freeborn trying to step around Gingrich. Centering fee kick saved by Kozlowski, as Federley got a stick on that pass. There's Federley back with it, sauces it to the point to Young. Back to 5-on-5. There's a steal sent back towards the net. Wouldn't go. Now Graham behind the cage. Tried to feed it back to Johnson. That ended up splitting the defense bearing on the blue line, so the Wolves will get a chance to change. As Johnson has to keep it away from Lord. He plays it up the near side to Austin Federley. Bounces it out where Foley was chasing after it. Blacksmith got there first, and the quick up is to Lord. But they call offside at the Prowler line. Lord disagrees. 55 seconds gone in period number 3. And now they'll send Trevor Lord to the penalty box. Maybe a little bit too much disagreement. And now the Wolves with 2 very good players in the box in the speedy Mercurio And of course, Trevor Lord, their team leader in assists and tied for the team lead in points. They've put 2 minutes up on the big board here, but in the wrong spot. I mean, the Prowlers will take it. Just knock 17 minutes off the third period right now, and let's just play the last 2 and call it a day. Prowlers will certainly take that. Wolves would be upset, though. And now they fix it back to how it should correctly be. 19:05 to go in the third period. That penalty will not affect on-ice manpower. Chartrand lays it up towards the slot, knocked away. And Chartrand sends it back in, Foley hustling after it. So Lord gets the 10-minute misconduct. Chartrand dumping that one right back in, caught by Kozlowski. He drops it for Pavlov. Quick up, deflected in. Jay up towards Scantlebury. Now Doyle. Sauces it back across, dropped off. Here comes Dabari up the left wing side, flying in, knocked off his stick by Deck. DeCumbus chips it around one man, keeps chugging. He's knocked down and ends up sliding in offside. So they'll blow it dead right at the Watertown line. Lord officially for verbal abuse of official. Let's go Prowlers fans. Chance, coming from the young CL Spirit fans over to my right. Jay held up along the boards. To his side scrum, it's pulled out. Now Jay has it, and it's knocked down by Kozlowski, and DeCumbus couldn't get back towards the net. Jay lost the handle. Prowlers kept it in for a moment. And now here comes Botero with a step as Parsons fell down. A good save from Tucker Tynan. Ripped back in. Thornton towards the net, it floated wide. Leeson out high towards Sergeyev, back on net. As Thornton got a stick on it right in front. Now Deck, getting involved with Botero to the side of the crease. Everybody separated. We'll see changes on both sides before this face-off, deep in Tucker Tynan's end. Matt Graham's line out there against Kemzatov's line. Leeson scores! That puck slipped down deep, and Tate Leeson was the only one who got to it. He stick handles in tight and pulls the Wolves back within one. What a quick move from Tate Leeson. And with Lord and Mercurio in the box, the Wolves still able to pull back within a goal. Leeson's team high at 26th goal of the year. Trying to start a new point streak after his 10-gamer was snapped last night. Federley gets it on to Graham. He sends Freeborn away. Graham and Sergeyev come together below the goal line. Johnson pinching in on Gemzatov. Now Graham out to Scantlebury, stopped by Kozlowski. Heinzel came flying in for it, and a good defensive play by Leeson to keep Adam Heinzel from getting a shot at the open cage. Heinzel looking for his first goal of the year. Now comes across Johnson, bobbled the feed. He backhands it back across, Blacksmith took away the pass. He almost hit it into his own net. Acrobatic play from Kozlowski. to reach out the pad. That would have been Alex Johnson's second goal of the night had it gone. Scantlebury trying to make a move on Dabari. Both end up sliding down towards the crease. Not sure where the puck is, but they blow it dead. 4:10 gone in period 3. Everybody back to their skates. And they've found the puck. They'll get set for a face-off to Kozlowski's left. Prowlers sending out Tristan Sims' line. Chartrand taking Tecumseh's spot for this shift. So it's Sim, Jay, and Chartrand. Sim able to win it. Schumacher gets it deep. Chartrand digging for it. Gingrich moved it up the wall. Jay poked it back. And now a 3-on-2 developing for the Wolves. Dabari fired a pass across, and Dalton Jay on the back check, able to knock it away. Dabari with a couple of dangles. Now turns back towards the net from the outside. Ends up coming off the back glass off a deflection. Dabari flying around the zone. He'll hand it off to Gingrich. Now out to Doyle. Turnaround shot deflected down. The rebound, they kick it, a shot away. Now they do, and they score. It's Nico Hemming who finally got the bouncing puck on net. And the Wolves have come back to tie less than 5 minutes into period 3. Two goals in a minute and 51 seconds for Watertown. And that is Nico Hemming's first pro goal. The rookie out of the University of Central Oklahoma. Graham makes a move. Gonna get the puck on net. It's dumped back out towards Prowler territory, and that one will go all the way down, but icing waved off. Sergeyev back in his own end. Sent up towards Thornton. He and Young come together. One-handed along, kept in at the line, and dumped to the far side corner. Graham up to Freeborn, now on to Federley. Johnson hustling to join him. Federley couldn't get it there. He has it again at center. Pavlov and Dabari picking up the assist on the goal by Nico Hemming. Federley almost gave it away. Instead, he finds Merritt to Foley. Now Foley back towards Merritt. He couldn't get it on his stick, though, to take a shot. The home run feed towards Leeson, blocked down by Parsons. Now Heinzel back over towards Parsons. Leeson back to the net. Now it's Blacksmith. Taken in by Heinzel. Doyle, wrist shot blocked. Foley up towards Scantlebury, tried to tip it along. He's held up. Now he'll backhand it out. Prowlers on their heels a little bit here. They've given up 2 goals, and the Wolves have had the better of the chances so far in this third frame. Watertown up on shot 6-5. Dabari kicked it in. Heinzel keeps it moving around. Foley looks to start a rush. Couldn't put it on Tecumseh's tape. Dump back around. Parsons able to jam it to Scantlebury. Puck sitting on the blue line. Not out. Parsons plays it across to Heinzel. He finally gets it back to Watertown ice, but the Prowlers in the midst of a change. Dabari feeds it up. Parsons came in to close off Pavlov. Braden Deck with his head up. Gives it to Dalton Jay. Jay steps around the outside. All the way around the net. He wants the point. He has Deck. Wrist shot off the back wall. Kozlowski kept it from coming out in front. Sim cycling it to Jay. Behind the net. And now bounces to Tristan Sim. In front looking for DeCumbus. Passes in his skates. And out comes Thornton. Patero had it knocked off his stick by Schumacher. Sim makes a move. Keeps on moving. But he played the pass into the skate of Tomasi. Doyle tried to sauce one back. Couple of moves by Thornton, but he couldn't get a shot away. Gingrich just doing all he can to keep that puck alive for Watertown. Now Freeborn taken in by Doyle. Wolves pull it out. Deck over to Schumacher. He rims it up and out. Prowlers wanted too many men on the ice call as Leeson played it right off the bench. Here is Leeson. Drop pass. Overskated by Thornton. Prowlers the other direction. Graham has it back. Gives to Johnson his shot. Great off of Kozlowski, and he has it for a whistle and a face-off. 11:05 to go in period one. The Wolves have two, and they've tied the game. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coats professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today. 11:05 to go, third period of a tied hockey game between the Prowlers and the Watertown Wolves. Can the Prowlers escape a late tie game for the third straight game? They were able to get out of it last night. They got out of it against Elmira a week ago. Trying to do it again. Sergeyev gives it on to Blacksmith off his stick. Foley turns it the other direction. Sergeyev has it again. This pass to Blacksmith eluded him. Leeson flies in for it first. Blacksmith a drive. Stopped by Tynan. And Johnson chips it free. 4 Prowlers and 3 Wolves coming in. Now Port Huron will start a change. But Johnson makes a couple of moves, sent it towards the net. And it flies up out of play off a stick. There were a couple of players battling in front. Scantleberry and Sergeyev. Johnson just unable to get the puck there. Prowlers will send out the top line for this offensive zone faceoff. Up the draw, Freeborn pulled it out. That is shot blocked. Federley couldn't put a back pass in front. Schumacher, a one-timer, popped up in the air, and here comes Dabari. Pulls up, feeds it across. Quick shot, stopped by Tynan. Pavlov put it out in front. Doyle swung and missed at it. Doyle again, wrists it through, knocked down by Tynan. And Hemming will collect. Doyle off the back wall. Schumacher sent it towards Freeborn. He has it, he'll slow things down, and he'll dump it in. Prowlers will get a change. That's the midway point of this third period. Graham muscles off an attacker, and it's sent right out of play. And delay of game, and Gingrich knew it. immediately threw his head back. Prowlers power play. When we return, you're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network. Prowlers back to the quality power play with 9:34 to go. In the third period, it's Lincoln Gingrich 2 minutes for delay of game. And he knew it immediately. You saw him throw his head back as soon as that puck went up over the glass. And is this the opportunity for 500 points for Dalton Jay? We'll have to wait to see him as the other unit out there right now to start the man advantage. Graham tried to send it back to DeCumbus. It eluded him, and Tynan plays it off the wall up to Merritt. On to Graham, has a man breaking towards the net. It's Sim, and he backhanded it right through the crease and wide. Sim again. Tried to feather it down low, comes to Graham, and now Merritt. Prowlers settled things down, but hopped over Federley, sticking out of the zone. Thornton plays it back, and it's dumped all the way down by Mercurio. Prowlers in the midst of a change. Scantleberry moving up with Jay. Scantleberry towards Jay, and Leeson got his stick in the way. Blacksmith works into Prowlers territory, short-handed, and he couldn't get a shot away. He got all the way, a couple feet in front of the blue paint. Scantleberry makes a move himself to the backhand, stopped by Kozlowski, and he'll jump on top of the rebound for a whistle and a face-off. 53 seconds left to go in the Prowlers power play. Now Trevor Lord has stepped out of the penalty box after serving his 10 minutes. So they'll keep the same unit out there, both teams. Now Sergeyev hopping off the bench to make it 4 for Watertown. Leeson and Foley will take this face off. Leeson won it forward and hopped over Freeborn's stick and out. Leeson collided with Freeborn hustling after that puck. Foley on to Freeborn, he steps in. Freeborn around the net, in front, they jam away, and Kozlowski had his pad on the post, and Leeson throwing some shoves right into Evan Foley, as Foley was looking for the puck right on the side of the post. Kozlowski stretching out with the left pad to make the save. Prowlers switching the unit back again. This time Dan Chartrand out there instead of Sam Merritt with this unit. 31 seconds left to go in the penalty to Lincoln Gingrich. Prowlers already with 2 shots on the man advantage so far. Watertown has 1. And it's tapped to DeCumbus at the point. He gives to Federley. DeCumbus again. Federley once more. They'll try the far side to Sim. Chartrand up high to Federley. 13 seconds left on the man advantage. Cummins down low, deflected, juggled, and held by Kozlowski. 8 seconds left on the Prowlers power play. 7:42 to go here in the third. They'll keep the forwards out there, but switch up the defense. And Parsons lined up right at the top of the circle looking for the quick shot. They win it to him. He has to settle it down, those on edge. Schumacher towards the net, had it blocked. Back to 5-on-5. Puck knocked down. Graham with a steal. He couldn't feed it towards the back door. Tristan Sim was sneaking in that direction. Sergeyev lost it to Chartrand. Turns away from pressure. Chartrand out high to Parsons. Walks, beats it down low, a tip by Sim. He just got under it a little too much. And it flies out of play. Tristan Sim by himself right on the post. Got a touch on it. Both teams will make changes. 7:08 left to go in period number 3. 3-3 hockey game. Blacksmith able to work it out. We'll certainly see a lot of these three forwards that the Wolves have out there right now. Blacksmith, Leeson, and Lord. Scantlebury and Lord come together. Puck slipped out in front. Leeson collects it. Blacksmith had it poked off his stick. Trying to find Leeson from the outside, had his shot kicked out by Tynan. He dumped Alex Johnson. And now Blacksmith with the puck. Looking towards the middle of the ice, Gingrich was pinching in. Foley tied him up. Jay out towards Scantlebury. Couldn't move it along. Scantlebury and Gingrich tie up. And now Blacksmith kicks it. Young stole it, gave it right to Lord, but Parsons got in the way of Lord's offensive opportunity. Federley moving up ice all by himself with his team in the midst of a change. He'll dump it around. Freeborn and Sergeyev in there together. Now Gemzatov up the wall. Parsons gets it back deep. Sergeyev able to take it away from Freeborn. Comes out to center. Pavlov recovers for the Wolves. 5:45 left to go in a 3-3 game. Heinzel lost it in his skates to Bari. Didn't give a centering feed. Now he's looking towards the back door. It was cut off by Matt Graham, and the Prowlers ice the puck to alleviate some pressure. 5:26 up on the clock. Dangerous moments on both sides. Could we be a couple minutes away from overtime? Wolves lost in a shootout last weekend to Motor City. Prowlers have not seen overtime in just about a month. Last time was in Carolina in early January. Federley dumps that one in. Doyle working it over, and the lead pass deflected in by Pavlov. Schumacher up the boards, finds Dalton J. On towards DeCumbus. Prowlers couldn't get through. Tomasi to Pavlov. His shot blocked by Schumacher. Pavlov has it again. Goes D to Thornton. Wrist shot blocked down, and Tynan jumps out to cover it up. That was deflected, I think, maybe by a Prowler stick. We will take our final timeout. 4:35 left to go in period number 3. It's 3-3 here at McMorran Place. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Pepperoni Duo. A delicious combination of classic cut pepperoni, original pepperoni, 100% mozzarella cheese, and our famous flavored crust. 2 kinds of pepperoni, all kinds of delicious.
Hungry?
Howie's! We invite you to tune into our next broadcast on Friday, February 16th, when the Prowlers host the Motor City Rockers. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 6:50. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Another battle of I-94 is right in front of us, but first, we'll get an ending to this game, and it's sure to be dramatic. Leeson in front, and Foley able to block an opportunity from Trevor Lord on the back pass from Tate Leeson. Blacksmith makes a move onto Lord. There's a shot off a stick into the back glass. Lord gloves it down. Continues chugging, put it on net. Slipped wide from the outside, a shot blockered by Tynan. Chartrand knocked down, puck's underneath him. They dig away for it. Lord, Leeson, Johnson, and Chartrand in there. Johnson able to work it to Federley. He'll take a few strides, chip it off the boards, and head after it himself. Gingrich knocks him down. Now Blacksmith the other way to Dabari, touched back. Blacksmith back over to Dabari. Ends up going off the boards. Gamzatov couldn't wrap it out in front. Graham looking to move it out. Bounces down in front of Tynan. Gamzatov couldn't center. Dabari from the outside. Couldn't get that one to go. Federley chips it in. Dalton J hard after it with 3 minutes to go in regulation. Doyle, long lead pass, touched along to Dabari. He'll dump it in. Johnson stapled by Gamzatov. It's worked up to Freeborn. Has help coming with him. Freeborn tried to work it to Foley. Prowlers in a delayed offside situation right now, so Foley plays it back at center. Johnson up the boards. Freeborn back towards Alex Johnson. He'll try this side with Tucker Scantleberry. Sergeyev floats it towards the net. Deflects behind the cage. Thornton wraparound try. It pops out. Sergeyev winds, gives it over, and Tynan has that one in the catching glove for a whistle and a face-off. Foley and Botero getting into it a little bit just after that whistle. 2:09 left to go in period number 3. Wolves have the last 7 shots on net. Prowlers haven't had a shot on goal in over 6 minutes. And Chris Paulin is going to call his timeout to settle his troops down a little bit. Again, 7 straight shots for the Wolves. Prowlers without one in over 6 minutes. Watertown has been pushing and pushing. Tucker Tynan has stood tall in between the pipes. Prowlers came into this third period with a 3-1 lead. But before the period was 5 minutes old, Tate Leeson and Nico Hemming had brought the Wolves back to even. And that's where we stand. 2:09 left to go in the third period. Want to mention again, tune into our next broadcast. Puck drop scheduled for 6:50 p.m. next Friday, February the 16th. And pregame show starts at 6:50. Puck drop 7:05 against the Motor City Rockers. But if you can be in the building, be sure to come out for that game. It should be another good one between the Prowlers and the Rockers. Most of them have been this season. Tristan Sim, Chouette and Blacksmith in for this face-off, and Sim wins it back. Schumacher ended up towards Merritt. He chops it along. May have hit somebody on one of the benches. They'll bring the face-off right back into Prowler territory. Lord and Sim on this draw. Comes to the boards. Parsons and Leeson were wrestling for it. Leeson couldn't get it down the wall. Merritt trying to fly out. Now Gingrich pulls up in the corner. Doyle up the wall, finds Leeson. Parsons at the point, sent it through. Chartrand trying to get a tip on it. That one dumped all the way down, but on Tynan. He'll clamp the glove on top for a whistle and a face-off with 1:36 to go. Prowlers won't be able to change. A little extra conversation between Parsons and Leeson over on the near side glass, but we got another face-off deep in Prowler ice. Graham and Pavlov in on this one. Just as soon as Tucker Tynan is done fixing his mask, and now we're all set to go. Almost. Have to get that big catching mitt back on, and now we're set for the face-off. Quick shot off the draw, stopped by Tynan. And he'll clamp that big glove on top. Wolves now with the last 10 shots on net. 3 since the Prowlers timeout. Johnson rims it up towards Federley. He's able to bounce it out onto Freeborn. Lost it though, and Gamzatov sends it right back in. 80 seconds left in regulation. Johnson to Graham. Tried to send it out, ended up hitting Parsons on the bench. So another face-off in Prowler territory. And if you're the Wolves, you can feel it right here. All this pressure. And Watertown hoping it's just a matter of time. Prowlers looking to clear. Heinzel and Leeson wrestle each other to the boards. Blacksmith kicks it to the point. Sergeyev drove one wide. Freeborn chops it along and out. Prowlers get some fresh bodies on the ice as it's dumped in by Lord. Johnson take it in. Foley will pick it up behind the net. He finds Chartrand with 44 seconds to go. Chartrand lost the handle. He'll softly dump it around. Gingrich played it off the boards. Jay towards the net. Tipped wide by Chartrand. Parsons cut off that clearing attempt. Chartrand dumped it in and it's chopped back to center where Jay gets it deep. 20 seconds to go in regulation, a tied game. Doyle head up in the final 10. He'll skate with it. Doyle makes a move. His shot off a stick and flies too high. Gamzatov behind the net. Parsons steals that pass away. And we'll get some extra hockey here from McMorran in place. Put 5 up on the board for overtime. At first, a little more nastiness behind the net for a crowd of 1,618 here at McMorran Place, and they'll get a little bit more for their money. As we head to overtime, taking a look at the OT records for both of these teams. The Wolves 1 for 2 in games ended in overtime. Prowlers 2 for 4 in games ending in overtime. Of course, I mentioned it earlier, Wolves 0 for 1 in the shootout. Prowlers have not seen a shootout yet this season. Prowlers' last overtime loss coming just over a month ago is their last overtime game, a 2-1 heartbreaker in Winston-Salem on January the 5th. Their last OT win came back in 2023, December 29th. Mitch Jones making his season debut for the Prowlers. Put home a one-timer on the power play. And that gave the Prowlers the win that night over the Motor City Rockers. Both of the Prowlers' overtime goals, this season have come via the power play. As both teams get set on their benches, it will be 3-on-3 for 5 minutes, and if we don't get a goal, then we will see a shootout. And both teams are at their benches after what has been a heck of a hockey game. Prowlers were able to build a 3-1 lead and take it into the third, but the Wolves scored twice within the first 5 minutes of period number 3 to tie the game up. And of course, we have the B story of tonight. The side story of this game is Dalton Jay is still sitting 1 point away from 500 in his FPHL career. He has 2 goals on the night, and could you imagine, overtime, hat trick, 500th point, the whole 9 yards. He's not on the ice though, as Prowlers start with their top line of Graham, Federley, and Freeborn going up against Lord, Leeson, and Dabari. Freeborn had a step, couldn't handle the pass clean, and it slips by and in! Freeborn one-touch, handed it on goal. It just slipped through Kozlowski. The Wolves don't think it went in, but the Prowlers are celebrating. Trevor Lord arguing his case. What a chaotic ending. 15 seconds into overtime. And it's Liam Freeborn who scored the game-winning goal last night and the game-winning goal a week ago, who will get credit for it. The Wolves are still on their bench. Prowlers are getting set to salute their fans at center ice. I don't think the Wolves are accepting this result right now. It was tough to see from up here. That puck barely crossed the goal line, inches from crossing the goal line. The referee right behind the net called it a goal. Kozlowski over there to have a conversation with the referee, but it doesn't look like they will take a second look. And the Prowlers pull out a 4-3 victory here tonight. In dramatic fashion, they survive the Wolves again, and we'll give you the call of the goal. So how do you like that? Freeborn from Federley and Graham, as Graham picks up his second assist of the night. Freeborn, another 3-point night for him. And Austin Federley gets himself on the score sheet in overtime, as the Prowlers pull it out 4-3, your final tonight. Another reminder to tune into your next broadcast, or our next broadcast actually, as the puck drop is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. on Friday, February 16th. And the pregame show starts at 6:50. We'll get the 3 stars announcement. Matt Graham, the 3rd star.
Number 92 with 2 goals, Dalton Jay. And your number 1 star of the night with 2 assists and a game-winning goal, number 14, Liam Freeborn.
So Matt Graham named the 3rd star of the game. Dalton Jay, the 2nd, who came just 1 point shy of 500. He was that close to 500 points in his FPHL career. But we'll have to save that one for another day as the spotlight shines on Liam Freeborn tonight. He gets the overtime game winner. Prowlers escape with a 4-3 win, and they get points number 57 and 58 and extend their win streak to 3 straight games and continue to build their lead on the Mississippi Seawolves. And CL Spirit Night, a success for the Prowlers as they sweep the Wolves, who drop to 11-21-3, and their losing streak extends to 4 games. An exciting one here tonight from McMorran Place. We'll have another exciting one for you next Friday when the Prowlers host the Motor City Rockers. But for now, for Kim running the camera, I'm Will Wiggleman. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on the PHP Network.